Introduction. The introduction lays a compelling foundation for the entire book by underscoring the fundamental principle that time is the most precious and non-renewable resource we have. It begins with the assertion that how we spend our time defines the trajectory of our lives, shaping our achievements, relationships, and overall happiness. The author argues that despite time being finite and irreplaceable, many people fail to recognize its value and often squander it on unproductive habits or distractions. This failure, he explains, stems from a lack of clarity about priorities, a tendency to procrastinate, and an inability to resist the endless pull of modern distractions, such as social media and excessive multitasking. The introduction encourages readers to step back and critically evaluate how they allocate their time, as this reflection is the first step toward meaningful change. Moyris highlights the importance of aligning time with purpose, stating that without a clear sense of direction or goals, even the most efficient time management strategies will ultimately feel unfulfilling. He challenges the common misconception that productivity is about doing more, reframing it instead as the art of doing what truly matters. This shift in perspective, he argues, is key to mastering one's time and leading a life of intention other than reaction. Furthermore, the introduction acknowledges the barriers that prevent people from optimizing their time, such as fear of failure, perfectionism, and the inertia of daily routines. Moyris presents the idea that overcoming these obstacles is not only possible, but necessary for living a life aligned with one's deepest values. By mastering time, he promises readers they can regain control over their lives, reduce stress, and make consistent progress toward their personal and professional goals. Finally, the introduction serves as an invitation to embark on a transformative journey, where readers will learn actionable strategies to manage their time effectively, eliminate distractions, and develop habits that lead to sustained success. It sets the tone for the practical and empowering advice that follows, making it clear that mastering time is not just about efficiency, but about creating a fulfilling and purpose-driven life. Chapter 1. Understanding the Value of Time. In Chapter 1 of Master Your Time, Thibaut Moyris intricately unpacks the extraordinary value of time, presenting it as the cornerstone of all human achievement and the foundation upon which life itself is built. He begins by asserting that time is the most finite and precious resource we possess, unlike money, skills, or material assets. It cannot be stored, replenished, or earned back once it's gone. Each person, regardless of their wealth, education, or social status, is granted the same 24 hours in a day, yet the outcomes of their lives differ profoundly based on how they choose to spend this invaluable resource. Moyris invites readers to reflect deeply on their relationship with time, emphasizing how much of it is wasted due to distractions, procrastination, or activities that hold no real significance in the long run. He paints vivid scenarios, encouraging readers to imagine their lives as an hourglass, with grains of sand representing moments that slip away irretrievably with every passing second. This analogy reinforces the urgency of treating time as a treasure and challenges the common mindset of taking it for granted. The author highlights how the modern world, with its endless notifications, digital entertainment, and societal demands, subtly erodes our ability to focus on what truly matters. Many people drift through their days without intentionality, allowing external forces to dictate their schedules and inadvertently prioritizing tasks that are urgent but not necessarily important. Moyris introduces the concept of opportunity cost, a powerful reminder that every minute spent on one activity inherently means sacrificing countless other possibilities. For example, spending an hour mindlessly browsing social media may seem harmless in the moment, but, over weeks and months, could amount to lost opportunities for learning, relationship building, or pursuing meaningful goals. He challenges readers to think of their time as a non-renewable bank account. Imagine receiving 86,400 seconds each day, with the caveat that whatever remains unused by midnight is gone forever. This thought experiment aims to awaken readers to the reality that every day is an irreplaceable gift, and every choice they make is either an investment in their future or a step away from it. To illustrate the profound implications of wasted time, Moyris recounts stories and examples of individuals who spent years pursuing activities they later realized had little value, leading to deep regret. These accounts serve as cautionary tales, urging readers to assess their priorities and align their daily actions with their long-term goals and values. The chapter also explores the psychological barriers that prevent people from valuing their time effectively. Moyris examines how procrastination, a lack of clarity, and the pursuit of short-term pleasures often override the discipline required to use time wisely. He explains that these habits create a cycle of regret and missed opportunities, as people fail to take consistent steps toward their aspirations. He then draws attention to the societal norms that glorify busyness rather than meaningful productivity, explaining how many people equate being busy with being successful, even if their efforts lack direction or purpose. Moyris argues that the ultimate measure of a life well lived is not how much one accomplishes, but how closely their time aligns with their core values and aspirations. By shifting their mindset to see time as an investment, readers can begin to prioritize activities that bring them closer to their goals. He emphasizes that even seemingly small changes, like dedicating an hour a day to personal development or reducing time spent on distractions, can lead to transformative results over the long term. Through this lens, time becomes not just a tool for productivity, but the very essence of a purposeful and fulfilling life. The chapter concludes with a call to action, urging readers to take immediate steps to reevaluate their time management practices. Moyris challenges them to audit their current routines, identify areas where time is being wasted, and begin making intentional choices that reflect their true priorities. He stresses that understanding the value of time is not a one-time realization, but a continuous process of aligning one's actions with their most important objectives. By cultivating this awareness, readers can unlock their full potential and live a life that is not only productive, but deeply meaningful. This chapter is a profound wake-up call, setting the stage for the transformative strategies that follow in the rest of the book. Chapter 2. Clarity and Purpose. In Chapter 2 of Master Your Time, Thibaut Moyris meticulously explores the transformative power of clarity and purpose, presenting them as the essential building blocks for effective time management and a deeply fulfilling life. He begins by highlighting how the absence of clarity leads to a scattered approach to life, where individuals often find themselves overwhelmed by daily tasks yet feeling unproductive and unfulfilled. Without a clear sense of direction, people tend to drift, letting external forces and immediate demands dictate their choices, which results in a reactive rather than proactive life. Moyris emphasizes that clarity is like a beacon, a guiding light that helps you focus on the things that truly matter. When you lack it, your efforts are diluted, and your time is often spent on activities that neither align with your core values nor contribute meaningfully to your long-term goals. He discusses how a well-defined sense of purpose acts as a source of intrinsic motivation, providing the drive to overcome obstacles and persist through challenges. To help readers uncover their clarity, Moyris introduces reflective exercises, asking profound questions like, what legacy do you want to leave behind? And what is your ultimate definition of success? These questions are designed to peel back layers of superficial desires and uncover the deeper aspirations that truly resonate with an individual's heart and mind. He stresses that clarity involves not only identifying what you want, but also understanding why you want it. Your why serves as the emotional fuel that sustains long-term efforts. Moyris illustrates that clarity is not a one-time revelation, but an ongoing process of refinement as your goals and circumstances evolve over time. He provides practical tools, such as visualization techniques, where readers are encouraged to picture their ideal future in vivid detail, imagining the feelings, achievements, and contributions they aspire to experience. This mental exercise creates a strong emotional connection to their goals, making them feel more tangible and motivating. Purpose, as Moyris explains, is the anchor that keeps you grounded amid the chaos of daily life. Without a sense of purpose, people often find themselves chasing societal definitions of success like wealth, status, or fame, only to discover that these external benchmarks leave them feeling empty. He encourages readers to dig deeper, focusing on personal values and the impact they wish to have on the world. Moyris warns of the dangers of a reactive life, where a lack of clarity leaves you at the mercy of others' agendas, whether it's an employer's demands, societal expectations, or the constant distractions of modern technology. In this state, your time becomes fragmented, and your energy is drained by tasks that have little alignment with your true goals. By establishing clarity, you reclaim control over your time and direct it toward activities that are meaningful and fulfilling. Moyris introduces the importance of prioritization, urging readers to distinguish between urgent tasks and important ones. He explains that clarity helps you identify the activities that yield the most significant results in the long run, enabling you to say no to things that don't serve your higher purpose. He offers practical frameworks, such as the Eisenhower Matrix, to help readers categorize their tasks and focus on what truly matters. Another tool he advocates is goal setting, where clarity enables you to break down your overarching vision into actionable, manageable steps. By setting clear, measurable objectives, you can track your progress and stay motivated, even when faced with setbacks or distractions. The chapter also addresses common obstacles to finding clarity, such as fear of failure, indecision, and perfectionism. Moyris explains that these barriers often stem from a lack of confidence in one's ability to pursue their purpose. He offers strategies to overcome these mental blocks, such as starting with small, incremental steps that build momentum and confidence. He emphasizes that clarity and purpose are not static. They evolve as you grow, learn, and gain new experiences. Regular self-assessment is critical to ensure that your actions remain aligned with your changing priorities and aspirations. Moyris concludes the chapter by reinforcing that clarity and purpose are the bedrock of effective time management and a fulfilling life. Without them, even the most advanced productivity techniques are rendered meaningless, as they simply make you more efficient at doing things that may not matter. By gaining clarity and aligning your life with a clear purpose, you create a sense of direction that simplifies decision-making, eliminates unnecessary distractions, and infuses every moment with meaning. This chapter serves as a profound call to action, urging readers to invest time in introspection, discover their unique path, and build a life that reflects their true values and aspirations. Chapter 3. Eliminating Distractions. In Chapter 3 of Master Your Time, Thibaut Moyris takes an in-depth look at the problem of distractions, dissecting both external and internal factors that continuously hinder our ability to focus and, ultimately, to achieve success. He begins by explaining that distractions are not simply interruptions, but are pervasive forces that distort our perception of time, diminish our productivity, and prevent us from making progress toward our goals. Moyris emphasizes how modern technology, with its constant notifications from smartphones, emails, social media, and apps, has created a culture of instant gratification, where attention is constantly being pulled in multiple directions. These distractions make it nearly impossible to stay engaged with deep, meaningful work because the brain's focus is constantly interrupted by external stimuli. He underscores the immense cognitive cost of this constant switching between tasks, which results in reduced cognitive performance, greater mental fatigue, and the depletion of willpower. Moyris explains that every time we shift our attention from one task to another, our brains need to adjust, leading to what is known as switching cost, and that this interruption takes a serious toll of both short-term productivity and long-term success. He paints a vivid picture of how the fragmented nature of modern life leaves us feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and unaccomplished, despite the seeming productivity of being busy. This busyness, fueled by distractions, leads to tasks being left incomplete, goals becoming unclear, and our time slipping away unnoticed. Moyris also dives into the internal distractions that plague us, such as self-doubt, fear of failure, and the tendency to overthink, all of which can prevent us from acting decisively. These internal barriers can be even more insidious than external distractions, as they often come from within and can cloud our judgment, leading to procrastination or hesitation. These mental distractions lead to a constant cycle of negative self-talk, where individuals begin to question their abilities, feel overwhelmed by the scope of their tasks, or become paralyzed by the fear of not achieving perfection. This internal clutter becomes just as destructive as any external interruption, causing individuals to waste time on thoughts and emotions that drain their energy without moving them closer to their goals. Moyris draws attention to how the lack of focus on important tasks is compounded by these internal distractions, which can be harder to recognize, but are equally detrimental to achieving productivity and success. To address the issue of distractions, Moyris outlines several practical strategies for creating a more focused and distraction-free environment. He suggests starting with the physical space, which can significantly influence our mental state. Creating a designated workspace that is clean, organized, and free of unnecessary distractions is essential for fostering concentration and productivity. Moyris advises removing or minimizing external triggers that lead to distraction, such as silencing phone notifications, putting devices in another room, or using apps that block distracting websites. He emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries with others, whether it's family members, friends, or colleagues, to prevent constant interruptions and to protect valuable time. One of the key recommendations he makes is to structure work into focused blocks of time, such as the Pomodoro technique, where intense concentration is followed by short breaks to prevent mental fatigue. This, he argues, helps train the mind to resist distractions and to focus deeply during the set periods of work. On the internal front, Moyris recommends mindfulness and meditation practices as tools to manage the internal distractions of the mind. By developing a practice of self-awareness, individuals can learn to recognize when their attention is drifting and gently bring it back to the task at hand. He suggests adopting a mindset of self-compassion, where individuals don't punish themselves for their wandering thoughts, but instead practice patience and return to their focus with understanding. One way to accomplish this is through deep breathing exercises, which help calm the nervous system and bring mental clarity. Moyris also introduces the idea of journaling to clear mental clutter, encouraging readers to regularly write down their thoughts, anxieties, or plans for the day to declutter the mind before diving into work. He emphasizes the importance of setting clear intentions at the start of each day, helping individuals create a mental roadmap that guides their focus, making it easier to stay on track and avoid distractions. He recommends using visualization techniques to picture the desired outcome of the task at hand, which helps to align the mind with the goals and reduces the allure of distractions. Furthermore, Moyris discusses how managing distractions is not just about eliminating them, but also about creating a mindset of intentionality. He explains that people often fail to recognize their distractions because they have not made conscious decisions about where their attention should go. By becoming more intentional about how we spend our time, we make it easier to say no to distractions and yes to the activities that align with our purpose. He recommends establishing clear priorities based on values and long-term goals, which helps individuals cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. Moyris explains that the key to eliminating distractions is not just about the external tools or techniques, but about cultivating a mindset that consistently values focus and intentionality. This is where discipline comes into play. Discipline not as a form of punishment, but as a practice that strengthens over time, enabling individuals to train their minds to stay anchored in the present moment. Moyris also emphasizes that the battle against distractions is ongoing and requires constant awareness. Just as our physical environment needs regular maintenance, so does our mental environment. This is why regular self-assessment and reflection are critical. By identifying moments when distractions have crept in, readers can tweak their routines and strategies to stay on course. Moyris suggests developing the habit of conducting a weekly review, where individuals reflect on what went well, what caused distractions, and how to improve in the future. This reflective practice enables a continual fine-tuning of focus strategies, helping to optimize productivity over time. The chapter closes with a profound call to action, urging readers to treat distractions as a form of theft. Each distraction steals time, energy, and focus from the things that matter most. Moyris highlights that it's not enough to simply reduce distractions. We must actively cultivate focus by choosing to spend our time intentionally, aligning our daily actions with our larger goals and values. He stresses that the ultimate purpose of eliminating distractions is not merely to work more efficiently, but to live more intentionally and create a life that is fulfilling and aligned with personal purpose. This chapter serves as a comprehensive guide to reclaiming control over time by fostering an environment and mindset conducive to sustained focus, enabling individuals to make meaningful progress in the areas that matter most to them. Through consistent effort and intentional practice, readers can eliminate the distractions that hold them back and unlock their full potential. Chapter 4. Building a Productive Routine. In Chapter 4 of Master Your Time, Thibaut Moyris offers a comprehensive guide on how to build a productive routine, highlighting the critical role that routines play in structuring our time and shaping our daily lives. He begins by stressing that one of the biggest obstacles to productivity is the lack of a consistent, effective routine, and he explains that our lives are often chaotic and unproductive because we do not have a reliable framework to structure our time. Moyris explains that the essence of a productive routine lies in the ability to remove the need for constant decision-making, which is mentally exhausting and leaves us with little energy for more important tasks. By automating our day-to-day activities through routines, we reduce cognitive overload and free up mental energy that can be directed toward more valuable pursuits. For example, knowing exactly when to wake up, when to exercise, and when to focus on work allows us to avoid the mental strain of figuring out what to do next, making our days run more smoothly and efficiently. He draws on research that shows how habits and routines lower stress and anxiety because they provide predictability and reduce the cognitive burden of constant decision-making. Moyris goes on to explain that a productive routine is not about adhering to a strict, unyielding schedule, but about creating a flexible framework that can adapt to changes in personal circumstances or external conditions. The key is consistency, not perfection. He advocates for finding a balance between structure and flexibility, allowing enough room for spontaneity, while still maintaining the discipline to ensure that the most important activities are prioritized. Moyris also stresses that, in order to be effective, a routine must align with one's values and long-term goals. For example, if a person values health, their routine should incorporate time for exercise, healthy meals, and self-care. Similarly, if career success is a priority, their routine should reflect this by carving out time for focused work, skill development, or networking. By aligning your daily activities with your broader aspirations, a routine becomes a powerful tool for achieving long-term success. Moyris goes on to explain that routines are not just about professional productivity. They also play a vital role in fostering personal growth and well-being. A well-rounded routine incorporates both work and personal life, ensuring that time is set aside for relaxation, reflection, and recreation, which are essential for mental and physical health. He emphasizes that an overemphasis on work at the expense of personal well-being can lead to burnout, and a truly productive routine just honors both the need for achievement and the need for rest and rejuvenation. One of the key aspects Moyris highlights is the importance of starting small when building a routine. who warns against trying to overhaul your entire life at once, as this can lead to overwhelm and frustration. Instead, he suggests focusing on one or two small habits initially, such as waking up at the same time every day, or dedicating a set time for focused work and gradually building on those. By starting small, individuals can build momentum and avoid the discouragement that often accompanies a dramatic change in behavior. Moyris also discusses the role of time blocking as a technique for structuring the day. Time blocking involves breaking the day into distinct chunks of time, each dedicated to a specific task or activity. By assigning a fixed amount of time to a task, we can prevent procrastination and ensure that we stay focused and productive. Moyris highlights the importance of setting realistic time frames for tasks, explaining that over-ambitious time blocking can lead to frustration and burnout. He encourages readers to be mindful of their energy levels throughout the day, adjusting their routines to match their natural rhythms of productivity. For instance, if someone tends to feel more energetic in the morning, they should reserve this time for high-priority tasks, while using the afternoon for less demanding activities. The chapter also covers how to create routines that incorporate both short-term and long-term goals. Moyris explains that while daily routines are essential for building consistency, they must be linked to larger aspirations to provide direction and purpose. For instance, someone working toward a career goal might include time for reading, skill development, or project work as part of their routine, while someone focusing on physical health could incorporate regular exercise or meal prep into their daily schedule. Moyris suggests breaking down long-term goals into smaller, actionable steps that can be incorporated into daily routines, ensuring that progress toward larger goals is made consistently. He also emphasizes the importance of reviewing and adjusting your routine regularly to ensure that it remains aligned with changing circumstances and evolving priorities. He suggests conducting weekly or monthly reviews where you assess what's working and what's not, making necessary adjustments to keep your routine effective. This reflective practice allows for continuous improvement, ensuring that the routine doesn't become stale or ineffective over time. Another important point Moyris raises is the need to cultivate discipline when building a routine. Discipline, according to Moyris, is not an innate trait, but a skill that can be developed over time through consistent practice. He argues that routines help build discipline by reinforcing positive habits and behaviors that, over time, become second nature. One way to foster discipline is by making routines non-negotiable, treating them with the same level of commitment as any other important obligation. Moyris suggests starting with the most essential activities and ensuring they are done consistently before adding other tasks to your routine. By prioritizing the most important habits, individuals can avoid the trap of spreading themselves too thin and becoming overwhelmed by trying to do too much at once. Moyris also explores the role of habit stacking in building a productive routine. Habit stacking involves linking a new habit to an existing one, making it easier to implement and maintain. For example, if someone already has a habit of drinking coffee in the morning, they can stack a new habit of reading for 10 minutes right after their coffee. Moyris explains that this technique works because it takes advantage of the brain's existing neural pathways associated with the current habit, making it easier to form a new one. He encourages readers to be strategic when stacking habits, ensuring that the new habits are aligned with their broader goals and values. The chapter concludes by emphasizing the profound impact that a well-structured routine can have on personal and professional life. Moyris argues that routines are the bedrock of productivity because they create a sense of control, eliminate distractions, and allow individuals to channel their energy toward what truly matters. Through deliberate planning and consistent action, routines create a foundation for success, enabling individuals to achieve more with less effort. Moyris stresses that routines are not just about managing time, but about creating a life that reflects one's priorities and values. By building a productive routine that aligns with personal goals, individuals can take control of their time, increase their effectiveness, and ultimately lead a more fulfilling life. Chapter 5. Overcoming Procrastination. In Chapter 5 of Master Your Time, Thibaut Moyris offers a profound exploration of procrastination, an issue that hinders productivity for many individuals. He begins by challenging the common perception that procrastination is simply a sign of laziness or lack of discipline. Moyris argues that procrastination is a complex psychological phenomenon with deeper emotional roots that often go unnoticed. He suggests that many people procrastinate due to an unconscious fear of failure or perfectionism. The pressure to do things perfectly can paralyze individuals from starting a task in the first place. This fear of not meeting their own high standards often leads to avoidance. Another emotional trigger Moyris identifies is the tendency to avoid tasks that feel uncomfortable or overwhelming. When faced with a large project, the sheer size and complexity of the task can make it feel insurmountable, and this feeling often prompts procrastination. Moyris also touches on how procrastination can be a way of coping with anxiety or stress, where people procrastinate because they associate the task with negative emotions. This creates a vicious cycle. The longer someone procrastinates, the more guilt and stress they experience, which only increases their avoidance, making it even harder to take action. Moyris emphasizes that procrastination is not simply an issue of poor time management skills, but often a deeper emotional struggle that manifests as avoidance behavior. The chapter explores how procrastination isn't always about consciously choosing to do nothing. Instead, it can be an automatic response to negative emotions, fear of failure, or self-doubt. Moyris goes further by suggesting that a key to overcoming procrastination is to recognize these emotional triggers and address them directly. For example, he recommends acknowledging and confronting the fear or anxiety associated with a task. By accepting these feelings instead of avoiding them, individuals can reduce their impact and begin to take small steps forward. He advises readers to practice self-compassion, recognizing that no one is perfect and that mistakes are part of the process. By showing ourselves kindness and understanding, we can reduce the negative emotions that fuel procrastination and increase our ability to take action. Moyris highlights that self-criticism and harsh judgment can exacerbate procrastination, making it harder to get started. Instead, he advocates for a more compassionate approach to productivity, one where taking small, imperfect steps is celebrated rather than criticized. Along with emotional awareness, Moyris suggests using practical techniques to break the procrastination cycle. One such technique is microtasking, where individuals break large, intimidating tasks into small, manageable actions. This approach works by making tasks feel less overwhelming and more achievable. For example, if the task is writing a report, instead of focusing on completing the entire report at once, the person could focus on just writing the introduction or even just one paragraph. This reduction in task size makes it easier to start and builds momentum. The key point Moyris emphasizes with microtasking is that taking action, no matter how small, generates progress and motivation. Starting with something simple, often enough to overcome the inertia of procrastination. Moyris explains that once you begin working, the energy and focus needed to continue often come naturally. He also stresses that starting small doesn't mean underestimating the importance of the task, it simply means breaking it down into more manageable steps. As you move through these smaller tasks, you gradually build the momentum necessary to tackle the larger project in its entirety. Another crucial strategy that Moyris introduces is the 5-minute rule, which is particularly useful for tasks that seem overwhelming or when motivation is low. The 5-minute rule involves committing to work on a task for just 5 minutes. By doing this, you lower the psychological barrier to starting. The idea is that once you've worked for 5 minutes, it becomes easier to continue, as the hardest part is simply beginning. Moyris notes that this approach works because once we start, we often find ourselves naturally wanting to continue beyond the initial 5 minutes. This technique reduces the mental resistance associated with procrastination by focusing on taking action rather than worrying about completing the task. Moyris also offers practical advice for managing distractions, which are a major contributor to procrastination. He explains that distractions from phone notifications to social media or environmental noise dilute our focus and increase the likelihood of procrastination. To overcome this, he recommends creating an environment that promotes concentration. This can involve physically isolating yourself from distractions, using tools like website blockers, or setting boundaries with colleagues or family members to ensure uninterrupted work time. Moyris highlights that controlling our environment is essential for eliminating distractions and creating the conditions necessary for sustained focus. He advises readers to create a designated workspace that fosters concentration, ideally free from anything that might tempt or distract them from the task at hand. This environment should be optimized for productivity, with everything necessary for the task at hand easily accessible, while non-essential distractions are minimized. Beyond environment, Moyris discusses how setting specific and clear goals can help combat procrastination. He argues that vagueness is one of the main reasons people procrastinate. Without clear goals or deadlines, tasks can feel ambiguous, which leads to avoidance. Moyris suggests breaking down large goals into specific, actionable steps, each with its own timeline and measurable outcome. For example, instead of saying, "I need to finish this project," a clearer goal would be, "I will write the first draft of this project by 3 p.m. today." He further explains that deadlines help create urgency, making it harder to justify procrastination. Even when a task does not have an immediate deadline, setting artificial deadlines or personal targets can help instill a sense of accountability and prompt action. The importance of accountability is another theme Moyris explores. He explains that sharing goals and progress with others, whether friends, colleagues, or accountability partners, can increase motivation and reduce procrastination. By making your intentions known, you create external pressure to follow through. Moyris suggests finding someone who can hold you accountable, whether through regular check-ins or simply by letting them know your goals. This external accountability reinforces your internal commitment to completing tasks and makes procrastination feel less like an option. Along with accountability, Moyris also introduces the concept of creating routines that support consistent productivity. He argues that procrastination is often the result of poor time management or a lack of structure in our days. By integrating productive habits into daily routines, individuals can avoid the pitfalls of procrastination. For example, setting aside specific times each day for focused work or scheduling regular breaks can help maintain momentum and ensure that procrastination doesn't creep in. Another significant point Moyris raises is that overcoming procrastination requires developing discipline and willpower over time. He stresses that discipline isn't an innate trait, but a skill that can be built through consistent practice. Over time, by implementing the strategies of microtasking, goal setting, and environment control, procrastination becomes easier to manage and eventually overcome. Moyris encourages readers to view their struggle with procrastination not as an insurmountable flaw, but as a challenge that can be met with persistence and the right strategies. He also points out that building discipline involves recognizing and addressing procrastination when it occurs, instead of avoiding or repressing it. Moyris notes that self-reflection and evaluation are key parts of this process, as individuals must be honest with themselves about the reasons for their procrastination and how they can better manage their time and emotions moving forward. In conclusion, Moyris emphasizes that overcoming procrastination is not about achieving perfect productivity or working non-stop, but about making consistent, small improvements to how we approach tasks. The goal is to take actionable steps every day, no matter how small, toward overcoming procrastination. Through a combination of psychological awareness, practical strategies, and emotional resilience, individuals can gradually build habits that eliminate procrastination from their lives and move towards achieving their goals. Ultimately, Morris argues, the key to overcoming procrastination is to take action no matter how imperfectly and to continue to build momentum with each step, creating a cycle of productivity and progress. Chapter 6. Energy Management. In Chapter 6 of Master Your Time, Thibaut Moiris goes deep into the crucial concept of energy management, asserting that the ability to effectively manage your energy is far more critical than simply managing your time. He begins by addressing a common misconception, that productivity is solely about managing time efficiently. While time is finite, energy is the true resource that powers productivity, and without sufficient energy, even the most well-organized schedule will fail to deliver results. Moiris explains that energy is not a constant force, but a fluctuating one, heavily influenced by factors such as physical health, emotional state, and mental focus. Unlike time, which passes whether we are using it productively or not, energy needs to be actively managed and replenished to sustain high performance. Moiris identifies the importance of recognizing your personal energy patterns throughout the day, noting that energy naturally fluctuates in cycles. Typically, we experience peak energy during the first few hours after waking up, which is when our body and mind are most refreshed and alert. During these hours, Moiris advises focusing on the most important and cognitively demanding tasks, those that require high levels of concentration and problem solving. He calls this energy mapping, the practice of aligning your tasks with your natural energy peaks. By scheduling these tasks during your high energy periods, you maximize your chances of completing them efficiently and effectively without feeling mentally drained. On the other hand, tasks that are less demanding, such as answering emails, organizing your workspace, or attending routine meetings, should be scheduled 4 times when your energy dips, typically in the late afternoon or evening. Furthermore, Moiris explains that energy is not only about the tasks you're working on, but also about your physical well-being. He emphasizes the importance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle to fuel your body's energy reserves. Physical health is foundational to energy management. A poor diet, lack of exercise, or insufficient sleep can all significantly reduce your overall energy levels, regardless of how much time you have available. Moiris argues that one of the most powerful ways to enhance your energy levels is through regular physical activity, which increases blood flow, boosts mood, and improves focus. Regular exercise, even if it's just a brisk walk or short workout, can replenish your physical energy and increase your overall stamina. Alongside exercise, proper nutrition plays a critical role. Moiris recommends a balanced diet rich in whole foods that provide steady energy throughout the day. He advises against relying on stimulants such as caffeine or sugar to artificially boost energy, as these lead to energy crash later in the day. Instead, he suggests eating smaller, more frequent meals to maintain stable blood sugar levels, thereby preventing energy dips that can hinder productivity. In addition to physical health, Moiris highlights the importance of mental energy. He explains that the brain, like any other organ, requires rest and recovery. Mental fatigue can build up after extended periods of intense focus or decision-making, leading to burnout or decreased cognitive performance. To manage mental energy effectively, Moiris advocates for the practice of regular breaks throughout the day. These breaks should not just be moments of rest, but also opportunities for mental rejuvenation. He introduces the concept of cognitive recovery, which involves engaging in activities that help clear the mind and restore focus, such as mindfulness, meditation, or even taking a walk outside. These activities not only reduce stress, but also enhance mental clarity, allowing you to return to your tasks with renewed focus. Moiris emphasizes the importance of stepping away from tasks to avoid the decision fatigue that often results from long periods of mental exertion. A key principle here is that our minds are not designed for non-stop, unbroken work. Inconsistent, short breaks actually increase long-term productivity. Moreover, Moiris discusses emotional energy and how it can significantly impact our overall productivity. He suggests that emotions, whether positive or negative, play a pivotal role, of how we experience and interact with our tasks. Negative emotions, such as stress, frustration, or anxiety, can drain emotional energy and reduce our capacity to focus and perform well. Moyris introduces the idea of emotional regulation, which involves recognizing and addressing negative emotions before they escalate. One way to manage emotional energy is through emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and control one's own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. Moyris suggests that cultivating emotional intelligence can prevent burnout, improve relationships, and enhance decision-making. He also recommends developing habits that foster positive emotional energy, such as practicing gratitude, connecting with supportive people, and engaging in activities that bring joy and fulfillment. When we nourish our emotional well-being, we become better equipped to handle the demands of work and life, which, in turn, boosts our productivity. Moyris further expands on the idea that energy management is not just about physical, mental, and emotional health in isolation. It is about creating a balanced, holistic approach that addresses all aspects of energy. He introduces the concept of energy rhythm, which involves balancing periods of intense focus with rest, work with recovery, and productivity with relaxation. Moyris underscores that the key to sustainable productivity is maintaining this rhythm, pushing yourself when necessary, but also recognizing when to slow down and recharge. This approach prevents burnout and ensures that you have the energy to tackle challenges with vigor and enthusiasm. Moyris also notes that an imbalance in energy, such as overworking or underresting, can lead to a depletion of your resources, leaving you unable to perform at your best. He suggests that finding this balance is an ongoing process of trial and error, as different tasks, environments, and people affect our energy in unique ways. Another important principle Moyris discusses is the need to recognize and eliminate energy drains. These are activities, people, or situations that consume energy without providing any meaningful benefit. Energy drains can take many forms: an unproductive meeting, a negative person, or an environment that isn't conducive to focus. Moyris advises readers to identify these drains and take steps to reduce or eliminate them from their daily routine. This might involve setting boundaries with colleagues or family members, reorganizing your workspace, or eliminating distractions that pull your focus away from important tasks. By removing these energy drains, you free up your energy for more meaningful and productive work. Moyris emphasizes that protecting your energy is just as important as managing your time, and that creating an energy-efficient environment is crucial for sustained success. In addition to eliminating energy drains, Moyris talks about the importance of replenishing your energy reserves on a daily basis. He introduces several practices that can help recharge physical, mental, and emotional energy. For physical energy, he suggests ensuring adequate sleep, proper hydration, and healthy eating habits. Mental energy can be restored through activities that promote relaxation and focus, such as engaging in creative hobbies, practicing meditation, or even taking a few moments to simply breathe deeply and relax. For emotional energy, Moyris encourages readers to nurture their relationships, practice gratitude, and engage in self-care routines. These practices, when done regularly, help maintain a steady flow of energy throughout the day, enabling individuals to stay productive without burning out. Moyris also touches on the role of mindset in energy management. He argues that our thoughts and beliefs can either energize or drain us. A positive, growth-oriented mindset leads to greater resilience and higher energy levels, while negative, fixed mindsets can result in energy depletion. He recommends adopting a mindset of abundance and possibility, where challenges are viewed as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. This shift in perspective can help boost emotional and mental energy, even during difficult tasks or situations. When we approach our work with a sense of optimism and confidence, we naturally generate more energy to tackle challenges head-on. Lastly, Moyris concludes by reiterating that energy management is an ongoing practice that requires attention, discipline, and awareness. It is not a one-time fix, but a dynamic process of constantly adjusting and optimizing our habits to ensure that we maintain high levels of energy. By understanding and managing our energy, we can work smarter, not harder, and achieve more in less time. Moiris encourages readers to take responsibility for their energy and make conscious choices every day to safeguard it, nurture it, and use it effectively. Ultimately, energy management is the key to sustaining long-term productivity, well-being, and success. Chapter 7. Sustaining long-term productivity. In Chapter 7 of Master Your Time, Thibaut Moiris dives deeply into the concept of sustaining long-term productivity, arguing that it is not enough to achieve success in short bursts. True productivity is about maintaining a high level of performance over time without experiencing burnout or losing focus. He begins by recognizing that, in the modern world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by constant demands, which often leads to burnout when people push themselves too hard without considering the long-term effects. Moiris stresses that short-term productivity hacks or motivational bursts, while effective for getting things done quickly, are not sustainable strategies for long-term success. In order to be productive over time, individuals need to cultivate habits and systems that support consistent performance. This can only be achieved when there is a balance between pushing for progress and allowing for rest and recovery. Moiris advocates for the development of a routine that includes the strategic use of energy cycles, ensuring that demanding tasks are done during peak productivity hours, and less energy-intensive work is scheduled when energy levels are naturally lower. He emphasizes that adopting this rhythm will prevent the exhaustion that comes from working non-stop without considering one's natural limitations. An essential point Moiris makes is that maintaining long-term productivity requires an ongoing commitment to personal growth and habit building, as opposed to relying on willpower or motivation alone. He acknowledges that motivation can be fleeting, and without strong, supportive habits, it is easy to fall off course. By establishing systems, such as daily routines, regular reviews of goals, and progress tracking, individuals can maintain focus and clarity, regardless of fluctuations in motivation. One of the most important habits Moiris highlights is prioritizing rest and recovery, which he believes is crucial for sustainable performance. This rest is not only physical, but also mental and emotional, which helps to recharge the individual and prevent burnout. He advocates for scheduled breaks throughout the day, as well as longer periods of rest, such as taking weekends off or even vacations, to allow the mind and body to recover fully. Moiris warns that the idea of constant work and grinding through fatigue will eventually lead to exhaustion and reduced productivity. Instead, he stresses that true productivity is about pacing oneself and maintaining a sustainable pace over the long haul. Additionally, Moiris highlights the importance of mindset in sustaining productivity over time. He argues that adopting a growth mindset is essential for overcoming challenges and setbacks that are inevitable in any long-term endeavor. When faced with obstacles, a growth mindset allows individuals to view these challenges as opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow, rather than as insurmountable barriers. This resilience enables people to stay productive even in the face of adversity, and it fosters a sense of perseverance that supports long-term success. On the flip side, a fixed mindset can hinder progress, as it may lead to frustration, self-doubt, and a reluctance to change course when necessary. Moiris also stresses the importance of being adaptable and flexible in one's approach to tasks. Life is full of uncertainties, and the ability to adjust strategies when circumstances change is vital for maintaining productivity in the long run. Another key point that Moiris emphasizes in this chapter is the need for continuous learning and personal growth to sustain productivity. He believes that stagnation is one of the greatest threats to long-term success. When individuals stop learning and growing, their energy, creativity, and motivation begin to dwindle. This decline can lead to a loss of productivity and a sense of dissatisfaction. To combat this, Morris suggests that people make a conscious effort to seek out new knowledge, challenge their current skills, and grow personally and professionally. This could be through reading, taking courses, attending workshops, or engaging in any activity that fosters continuous learning. By consistently developing oneself, individuals are able to stay engaged, motivated, and productive over time, even as they face new challenges and responsibilities. In relation to self-care, Morris places a strong emphasis on the importance of maintaining one's physical health to sustain long-term productivity. He explains that without proper physical care, such as getting enough sleep, eating nutritious meals, and exercising regularly, the body's energy levels will deplete, leading to poor performance, mood swings, and eventual burnout. Morris advocates for integrating healthy habits into daily routines, as these habits not only boost physical health, but also positively impact mental and emotional well-being. He also suggests that individuals pay attention to their sleep quality, as adequate rest is crucial for both mental clarity and physical recovery. In this regard, Morris warns against the harmful effects of chronic sleep deprivation, which can lead to impaired cognitive function, poor decision-making, and increased stress. Moreover, Morris explains that long-term productivity is heavily influenced by one's emotional well-being. He stresses the importance of emotional regulation, as negative emotions, such as stress, frustration, or anxiety, can drain energy and hinder performance. Managing emotions effectively through techniques like mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and stress management can prevent emotional exhaustion and keep individuals focused on their goals. Morris suggests practicing gratitude, engaging in fulfilling activities outside of work, and building supportive relationships as ways to nurture emotional energy and maintain a positive outlook. He also touches on the idea of energy drains, people, situations, or tasks that deplete energy without offering a meaningful return. These drains, if not managed, can contribute to burnout, and Morris recommends minimizing or eliminating them to preserve energy for more important tasks. Time management plays a central role in sustaining productivity, and Morris offers a nuanced approach to it. He advocates for the use of time blocking and prioritizing tasks according to their importance and urgency. However, he also emphasizes the need for flexibility in one's schedule, as rigidly adhering to a plan without accounting for unforeseen events can lead to frustration and stress. Morris also suggests that periodic evaluations of one's progress and goals are necessary to stay on track. This includes reviewing how well the individual is managing their time, identifying areas for improvement, and making adjustments as needed. By keeping track of progress and continuously refining strategies, individuals are more likely to remain productive in the long term. Finally, Morris argues that a sense of purpose is essential for maintaining long-term productivity. He encourages readers to identify their personal or professional why, the deeper reason behind their work, so that they remain motivated even when faced with obstacles. Having a clear purpose creates a sense of direction and meaning, which can fuel productivity over time. Morris explains that when people are connected to a greater sense of purpose, they are more likely to push through challenging times and continue moving forward. This sense of purpose also ties back to the importance of emotional well-being, as it helps to maintain motivation and enthusiasm throughout the ups and downs of the productivity journey. In conclusion, Morris's approach to sustaining long-term productivity is multifaceted and emphasizes the importance of balance, self-care, mindset, adaptability, continuous learning, and a sense of purpose. He argues that long-term success isn't about doing more work, but about doing it in a way that is sustainable, with attention to rest, emotional regulation, and personal growth. By maintaining these principles, individuals can achieve sustained productivity, avoid burnout, and continue progressing toward their goals over the long haul. Conclusion. In the conclusion of Master Your Time, Thibaut Morris brings together the core concepts from the book and expands on the idea that mastering time is an ongoing, dynamic process, not a one-time achievement. He stresses that time is one of the most valuable resources available to any individual, and how we manage it dictates not only our professional success, but also our personal well-being and overall fulfillment. Moyris emphasizes that, while people often think of time management as a way to cram more activities into their day, true mastery over time is about making intentional decisions and focusing on activities that align with one's core values, long-term goals, and purpose. He argues that, rather than following external pressures or trying to be busy for the sake of being busy, individuals should focus on what truly matters, which requires a deep understanding of their priorities. This is where the principles laid out in the book, like identifying one's purpose, eliminating distractions, creating effective routines, and managing energy, come into play. Each of these strategies is about helping people reclaim their time and use it in the most meaningful way possible, without succumbing to the constant distractions and stressors of modern life. Moyris underscores that time management is not a static skill, but an evolving one, and mastering it requires continuous learning, self-reflection, and adaptation. He explains that people must remain flexible in their approach to time, as rigid schedules can become ineffective when life's unpredictability interferes. Thus, he advocates for adopting a mindset that allows for fluidity, being able to adjust when circumstances change, but always with the end goal in mind. This flexibility also involves embracing the reality that setbacks, distractions, and mistakes are inevitable. Instead of viewing them as failures, Moyris encourages readers to approach these challenges as opportunities for growth. By learning from missteps, individuals can refine their time management strategies and become more resilient in their pursuit of long-term goals. He emphasizes the importance of regularly reviewing and reassessing one's progress, which ensures that individuals stay on track and adjust their methods if necessary. In this conclusion, Moyris places a significant emphasis on the role of personal growth and development in achieving long-term time mastery. He recognizes that people are constantly evolving, and their goals, priorities, and energy levels will shift over time. Therefore, to maintain sustained productivity and balance, it is important to reassess one's approach periodically. This might include adjusting routines, learning new skills, or reassessing what truly matters in one's life. Moyris points out that as we grow, our systems and strategies for managing time should grow with us, which means that the mastery of time is not a destination, but a journey. A central component of this journey, according to Moyris, is cultivating a deep sense of purpose that fuels all of one's time management decisions. He stresses that people who are connected to a greater sense of purpose are more likely to stay motivated, stay focused on their priorities, and overcome the inevitable challenges and obstacles that arise. Having a clear why provides the intrinsic motivation needed to resist distractions and keep moving toward one's goals, especially when external factors may cause setbacks. Another key insight from Moyris's conclusion is that time mastery involves more than just managing external tasks. It is equally about managing internal factors, such as emotions, energy, and mindset. He acknowledges that emotional regulation is vital for sustaining long-term productivity. Negative emotions such as stress, anxiety, and frustration can deplete energy reserves and impair decision-making, which ultimately affects time management. As a result, Moyris stresses the importance of developing emotional intelligence and stress management techniques that prevent these negative emotions from derailing one's progress. He explains that by practicing mindfulness, self-awareness, and emotional resilience, individuals can keep a clear head, make better choices, and stay on course. This ability to manage one's emotional state also ties into energy management, as it becomes crucial to recognize when one is emotionally drained and needs to take a step back to recharge, ensuring that they can operate at their highest capacity when it's time to work. Additionally, Moyris emphasizes the importance of creating systems and routines that are aligned with long-term goals, rather than relying on spurts of motivation or willpower. He highlights that motivation can be fleeting, but habits and routines provide the structure and discipline necessary to maintain consistent progress over time. He also acknowledges that successful time management requires strategic planning and decision-making. By creating effective systems, whether it's through time blocking, setting clear goals, or prioritizing tasks, individuals can eliminate the overwhelming feeling of being scattered and instead approach each day with clarity and purpose. Moyris points out that time blocking, for instance, is a powerful technique that helps people allocate time to important tasks, ensuring that they stay focused and productive even when distractions arise. He stresses that creating systems that support one's goals will minimize wasted time, reduce decision fatigue, and increase efficiency, allowing for sustained progress over time. Moyris does not just focus on work-related aspects of time management, but also on the importance of self-care and maintaining balance. In the conclusion, he reiterates that to master time effectively, individuals must take care of their mental, physical, and emotional health. He underscores that work and productivity should not come at the expense of one's well-being. Regular rest, adequate sleep, physical exercise, and pursuing hobbies are all essential components of a balanced life. Without these elements, Moyris argues, productivity is unsustainable, as burnout is inevitable. Therefore, building time for relaxation and personal enjoyment is as critical as time spent on work or productivity-related tasks. He reminds readers that life is about balance, and neglecting personal well-being in pursuit of constant productivity will only lead to diminishing returns in the long run. Moyris also touches on the importance of minimizing or eliminating distractions that can impede time mastery. He stresses that in today's digital age, distractions such as social media, notifications, and multitasking are major obstacles to effective time management. He advises readers to create environments conducive to focus, free from unnecessary distractions, so that they can engage in deep work and accomplish their goals more efficiently. By reducing distractions, individuals can preserve their mental energy and increase the quality of their output, which leads to more fulfilling and successful results in both personal and professional life. Another essential element of Moyris's conclusion is the idea of constant improvement. He notes that while it is important to develop strong systems for managing time, individuals must also be willing to adjust and evolve. Time management techniques are not one-size-fits-all solutions. They must be tailored to each individual's unique circumstances, personality, and goals. Therefore, the mastery of time is an iterative process that requires experimentation, reflection, and fine-tuning. Moyris encourages readers to continue learning and to be open to new strategies, tools, and approaches that can improve their ability to manage time more effectively. Finally, Moyris closes with a call to action, urging readers to take the principles shared in the book and implement them in their daily lives. He stresses that knowledge alone is not enough. Real transformation occurs when individuals take consistent action based on what they have learned. He encourages readers to begin applying the strategies immediately, even if imperfectly, and to continue refining their approach over time. Ultimately, Moyris asserts that mastering time is not just about efficiency. It is about creating a life that aligns with one's deepest values, goals, and sense of purpose, leading to greater satisfaction, productivity, and well-being.